So in case you hadn't noticed, I kind of love rainbows. I love their bright colors, and they just make me feel happy. I love them too because of what they represent. Rainbows have so much meaning. As a God lover, the rainbow reminds me of God's promise to always be with us, to always love us. You remember the story of Noah's Ark? Well, that's where the symbol comes from. So whenever I see a rainbow in the sky, I remember God's love, and I give thanks for that love. And then there's the rainbow flag. Yeah, during the month of June, we see a lot of rainbow flags because June is Pride Month. And right here in Saskatoon, we have just begun celebrating Pride Week. And today is Pride Sunday. It's a celebration of 2S LGBTQ plus people, 2S for two-spirit, L for lesbian, G for gay, B for bisexual, T for transgender, Q for queer, and the plus sign is to be sure we include all people in what we call the gender and sexuality spectrum. A spectrum is a way to describe diversity or variety. So let's say this is our spectrum. And at this side of the spectrum, we might find a gay man, for example. And a gay man is a guy who really is only interested in being romantic with other guys. And then over here at this side of the spectrum is another man who really is only interested in being romantic with a woman. And then from here to here is everyone in between. And the men right here are probably equally attracted to guys and to gals. And that's a spectrum. And a rainbow is also a spectrum. It's a spectrum of colors. So it makes perfect sense that the rainbow would be a symbol for the 2S LGBTQ plus people, doesn't it? Perfect sense. Now I know it can be difficult to learn and understand about this spectrum. It's a little complicated, but that's okay because the thing is, you don't really need to understand it. I believe what's way more important than understanding the gender and sexuality spectrum is just loving all the people who are on it. And sadly, there are many people who don't understand it. And rather than being kind of curious about it and trying to understand, or at least accept it, they become angry about it. And that anger often gets put onto others. So how do you feel when someone doesn't like you or doesn't accept you for who you are? It doesn't feel so good, does it? Well, for a long time, the rainbow people, and that's what I like to call the 2S LGBTQ plus community because it's just a little bit easier to say, but they were not liked at all. And they had to hide who they were and who they loved from everyone, even their families, even their friends. They were told that they shouldn't be proud of who they were because who they were was bad or wrong. But the rainbow people knew that this was not right, that they were just as good, just as worthy of respect as everyone else. And they decided that they were going to stop hiding and to just be proud of who they were. So they went out into the street and they marched together to show the world their awesomeness. And they created a flag with a spectrum of colors to be their symbol. And that's how the Pride Parade started. And that was like 52 years ago. And since that time, people have become much, much, much more welcoming and accepting of the rainbow people. We celebrate who they are and the color that they bring into the world. Diversity makes everything so much more interesting and colorful. And we are continuing to learn and grow. Recently, a new flag was created, and it's called the Inclusive Flag. It's the flag that is flying at McClure United Church, and it looks like this. So this flag includes colors that represent the transgender community, pink and blue. And it also includes black and brown. So we can be sure to remember the people of color who are also on the spectrum and who are such an important part of this beautiful diversity. Many, many, many times in the Bible, we're told to love our neighbor or to love one another. And when Jesus said, love your neighbor, he meant that we should love all people, that we shouldn't judge others because of the color of their skin or who they love or how they understand and express their gender. He meant love all your neighbors. Our church is still learning and trying to find ways to love our neighbors as best we know how. We believe that all people are worthy of God's love and our love. We celebrate Pride Week, and we're grateful for the color that the rainbow people bring into our lives. Next Saturday, we get to be part of the virtual Pride Parade, so make sure you watch it and see if you can spot McClure United Church, the church that believes that God's love truly is for everyone. Have a great week, everyone. Happy Pride.